Welcome to Video Editing Systems, a podcast where we talk about softwares, workflows, business tactics, and just about anything that might make us better editors, filmmakers, or content creators. Welcome to the first episode of Video Editing Systems. This is a podcast where I, Devon Dennis, am going to talk about everything related to video editing, whether it's softwares, workflows, or business tactics, anything that can make us better editors, filmmakers, or just creatives. My name is Devon Dennis. I'm a video editor, remote video editor living in Argentina. I go back to the States sometimes. I'm from the States. I'm from Pennsylvania. And for the past 3 years, I've been working as a remote editor here. And my goal with this podcast is to explore some of the things that I've learned that make me some of the systems that I've learned that make me a faster, quicker editor, and a lot of things that I wish I would have learned earlier. And I'm also going to have guests on the podcast, clients of mine, and other creatives that I'd like to pick their brain, and I think they have information that we could all learn from. So we're going to be talking about softwares. Personally, I use DaVinci and Premiere. I use them about 50-50 depending on who I'm working for. I prefer DaVinci just because it doesn't crash on me as much as Premiere does. I don't like hating on Premiere. I know on the internet a lot of people like to hate on Premiere. I think it's good for certain things. There's certain things I really like about it compared to DaVinci. But it does crash sometimes. Final Cut, I've never touched, I've never opened, but I work with a few clients who do work with Final Cut, and I would love to have them on the podcast and maybe pick their brains because I think there's something we could learn from that. And we're also going to talk about softwares outside of video editing. For example, Audition. I just played with Audition for a little bit. It wasn't a great experience. I didn't like it that much. Photoshop as well. Photoshop is something that I'm terrible at. I feel like every time I open Photoshop, I have to relearn it. And I tend to go to Canva, and I just made the thumbnail for this podcast, and I didn't realize that I used a paid template, a premium template. We're also going to talk about workflows, whether that's in the computer or outside of the computer or outside of work. For example, your studio space. This is kind of relatively new to me, and I've been making this space cozy for me so that I could spend 8+ hours a day here. Also, your day setup, what you do before work to get ready, how you stay focused to work all day, how you take a break because burnout's real, and also in the computer, how you structure your files, how you use your SSDs. So that's some of the things we'll be talking about. AI is another software, another thing on the computer that we'll definitely discuss because that's a thing. It's clickbait. AI is sometimes controversial. I wasn't a fan. I'm still not. I think it can be used in the right place in the right time. I think if you overuse it, it can be a crutch and it could lead to crummy work. I think it's noticeable if you use it too much, but I think in certain places it can save you a lot of time. And if you make the right system, you can make AI work and make everything faster. One of the things that I'm most excited to talk about on the podcast is business tactics, because it's something I'm figuring out. It's something that I used to, selling. Selling is something that I personally always felt I was bad at. And when I realize I'm bad at something and I start learning it, I get really excited about it and I get really into it. And I'm kind of going down that rabbit hole right now. So yeah, we'll be talking about social media. We'll be talking about forming a team, managing, contracting freelancers, and how you manage your finances. All of those things I was a little bit afraid of, and now I'm nerding out about it and I get excited when I get to play with Excels. So that's a general gist of what this podcast will be about. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Devon. I'll try to give you a quick summary of how I got into video work. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I came to Argentina in 2011 and started working as a climbing and hiking guide. And at one point, I think it was my 24th birthday, I was given a GoPro for my birthday. And I was like, if I put this thing on my helmet while I'm mountain biking, I'm going to have to do big things and I'm going to hurt myself. So I was like, what do I do with this thing? I started giving it to clients, and I would edit their video. I would edit a video for them so that they could remember how their trip was. So they had a memory of their trip, and also to use as marketing, because I knew my goal was eventually to start my own guiding business. And so I started a YouTube channel called Tuke Adventures. That turned into a guiding agency, a climbing, hiking agency here in Argentina. And yeah, as I started guiding, as I started making my own business, I realized one of my favorite parts of the business was making social media, making content, taking pictures, taking videos. And so I always kept my YouTube channel going, and then I moved back to the States in 2017, and I slowly started working for other guiding companies, trying to go more towards the photography, video work. So I explored a little bit of web design, a little bit of everything digital for a few businesses. And in 2022, I moved back to Argentina, and the plan was to work remotely. And that's when I went all in on video editing. And my first couple clients were more corporate videos, some YouTube videos, podcasts. And now what I try to focus on more than anything is wedding videos. So wedding videos is kind of my go-to right now. I kind of want to explore a little bit real estate. I've done a little bit of real estate video work, and I kind of want to do a little bit more of that, but I really like editing wedding videos. I think it's always a great story to tell. It's a great opportunity to tell a story. So yeah, that's me. That's my background. I hope you enjoy this first episode. I hope you enjoy the episodes that follow. The next episode is going to be about shortcuts, which I think personally, that's the biggest thing that I wish I would have learned earlier, because I spent from 2014 to 2022, almost 10 years without really knowing too many shortcuts, definitely not having any customized shortcuts. And now I have all of my shortcuts are customized. There's very few that I use that are the original shortcuts that come with DaVinci or Premiere, and I have them in both. So just about all of my shortcuts, if I'm in DaVinci or if I'm in Premiere, it's the same shortcuts, so I can go back and forth and I have the same shortcuts. Honestly, I feel like I could probably do a whole episode just on the right hand and on the left hand, because I have a Logitech Hero mouse that it's got 11 customizable buttons on the right hand, so the right hand very rarely touches the keyboard, and then the left hand. So we'll see if I split that up into two or if I squeeze it into one episode, but yeah, come back and I'll catch you on the next one.